Boa tarde, nação rubro-negra! Estamos aqui em mais um videocast aqui da FlaTV, falando um pouquinho sobre a Flamengo Adidas Cup. Vocês já conferiram o videocast do Blue Thierry Lima, né, com o pessoal já dos outros times, né, tanto que falam espanhol, né, e falam português. E agora a gente está aqui com a versão falando inglês, né? A gente vai receber aqui o diretor da academia do Orlando City e também o técnico do Arsenal. Vão bater um papo aqui com a gente. E antes eu queria apresentar aqui o Spencer Morton, que é o coordenador de comunicação internacional do Flamengo. Ele que vai estar aqui comigo nesse bate-papo. Seja bem-vindo, Spencer. Boa tarde.
Obrigado, Júlia.
E agora apresentar aqui os nossos convidados. Javier Carrijo é o diretor da academia do Orlando City. So nice to meet you. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. E também o Michael Donaldson, que é o técnico do Sub-16 do Arsenal. So welcome, Michael. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Então a gente vai falar um pouquinho sobre, bom, primeiramente sobre a competição, né? Mostrar alguns gols, também alguns melhores momentos, falar um pouquinho sobre essa troca, né, entre tantos times de tantas nacionalidades, e está sendo muito legal esse intercâmbio até aqui. So first of all, I'd like to know what are you guys, how are you guys feeling about Flamengo Adidas Cup? Are you enjoying the experience?
It's been an outstanding experience. Just being out here it makes it easy when you're in the sun, which is lovely. The boys have enjoyed it, and so far it's been an unbelievably well organised tournament. Something that we're really proud and pleased to be a part of.
Amazing.
Well, absolutely, for us as well, to expose our players to this level of competition, to your country as well, to your culture. It's a life-changing experience for our players, and we're very proud to be here, extremely professional, and we hope to be back in the future.
Então eu perguntei aí para eles, né, o que eles estão achando da competição, e o Michael até falou, nossa, o sol está sendo ótimo, né, porque em Londres não tem muito sol, né, então ele está achando ótimo tá aqui também, claro, uma ótima experiência aí para os jogadores, e os dois, né, elogiaram muito aí a estrutura do campeonato. O Javier falou também sobre a importância de proporcionar isso para os jogadores deles e também para os nossos nessa troca aí, como a gente vem falando. So Spencer, would you like to ask something to?
Yeah, so you mentioned being out in the sun, right? How do you think that differs from, I know Orlando's a little hotter right now at this time of year, but you guys are in the cold. Do you think that's played a part in any of the games?
Yeah, most definitely. I know we're not often exposed to heat that is extreme as,
Especially not this heat, right?
No, not like this at all. So, it's something that you can't prepare for. But, for us and the players, it's testing their mentality and their ability to try and push through this. So we found it difficult, but the boys have given a real good account of themselves in the heat. So it is a tough one for us.
How about you guys?
Yeah, for us, I mean, we got multiple stories about playing under the heat, right? In Orlando, we're quite used to this weather, so that hasn't been quite a change. So it's another day for us, I would say, right? And the kids are performing extremely well based on the circumstances, and we look forward to keep competing.
Aqui a gente estava conversando, né, sobre a questão do calor, já que o Michael falou do sol, né, e eles estavam falando que no caso do Michael, né, que como a gente até falou, não tem muito sol em Londres, então pode ser, ele falou que pode ser um fator aí que dificulta um pouco.
Que tem sido um fator que dificulta um pouco, mas que ele acha que a equipe dele tá jogando bem devido às circunstâncias, né?
E já o Javier já está acostumado, porque em Orlando, né, faz calor, não é nenhuma novidade para eles. And talking about the philosophy that you guys have in your clubs, you guys did a workshop here, and you talked about how things work in each club. In Arsenal, you guys were talking about how you prepare the players for life outside the pitch as well, right? And it's important to prepare them to life and make them understand that it's not just about being a good football player, right?
Yeah, correct, yeah. So we have a real big ethos on being the most challenging and caring academy in the world. So with that, we want to make sure we challenge our players, but with high challenge comes high support. So we must really ensure that, because trying to play for Arsenal is extremely difficult, but that means the demand for us as staff to put on the players is huge. So sometimes it can be really challenging for those players, but as coaches we have to find that balance of giving them high support and that may look totally different to just being out on the pitch. It may be one-to-one conversations, maybe meetings away from the club, it may be meetings in the club, and using the whole network of staff that we've got to support that is paramount for us. And we also have a phrase, better players, better people make better players. So as much as we can make them good young people, we hope that whether they're in Arsenal or not, we can send them out into the world or somewhere else where they're really good people.
Eu estava falando com eles, né, sobre essa questão de como é que é a filosofia do clube, porque eles fizeram um workshop aqui essa semana, né, cada clube, falando um pouquinho sobre como é que funciona, qual a metodologia e tudo mais. E o Michael falou lá no workshop que existe uma cultura muito forte de preparar o jogador para além do campo, né? E aí ele estava falando sobre a importância de realmente preparar eles, como ele disse, né? Tem uma frase que eles usam muito, melhores pessoas formam melhores jogadores, né? Então ele estava falando da importância do treinador não ser só um treinador ali naquele momento do jogo, do treino, a importância de ter conversas com cada um deles, entender o que cada um está vivendo e prepará-los, não, independente deles continuarem no Arsenal ou não, prepará-los para a vida e possivelmente uma carreira, né, dentro do futebol.
And to hear him talk about the person first, I think is extremely important, because as we know, most players won't have the opportunity to go professional, and we know that, and we accept that, right? And the key word that you mentioned, caring for the person, I think is vital in an academy. Is what keeps you going and what makes you better every single day, right? So I totally agree with that, and it's refreshing to hear as well.
O Javier estava complementando, né, falando que gostou muito da palavra que ele usou, de ter esse cuidado, né, com o jogador, porque muitas vezes esses meninos acabam não se profissionalizando, né, e é importante prepará-los para a vida de uma forma geral, né, formar um cidadão, não só um jogador de futebol. And in your workshop in Orlando, you were talking about the importance of
individual development.
Yes, exactly. The skills of each player. And how does that work with you guys?
I mean, for us, it's been, I would say, a fantastic project, because we're really emphasizing on the individual within the collective, and being able to be there for the player, be there for his journey as he ideally turns pro one day, and be able to walk him through the details and mentor him and guide him. You sort of become, I would say, a teacher, right? But at the same time, a friend or a mentor that the player understands that you're there for their success, and once you're able to create that chemistry, I would say, with the player, it becomes a special relationship.
Então, eu perguntei para ele, porque no workshop do Orlando, né, que também teve, eles falaram sobre essa cultura dentro do clube, eles falaram muito também sobre a importância de trabalhar a técnica de cada jogador, né, não só como um grupo coletivo, mas também individualmente. E ele falou muito sobre essa relação, né, que o técnico tem que ser quase um mentor para aqueles jogadores, e que uma vez que aquela química está alinhada, tem tudo para dar certo, né? Inclusive Orlando, que vai receber aí o elenco profissional, né, também.
Yeah, so next year, I don't know if you know about this, but we play Orlando City in a preseason friendly to start the year as a professional team. So do you guys have any players that have been called up to the pro team at the moment that might play in this game? And how's that process of being called up to the pro teams on both sides?
Yeah, in this particular game, yes, we have a few academy players who have been signed for the first team. Hopefully, as being part of the preseason, they can be part of this game. But we're really looking forward to it, because we have a big Flamengo fan base in Orlando, and obviously Orlando City will be a nice match, and something different as well, right? For us to face an international club as important as Flamengo, for us is a great experience. I'm looking forward to that.
Maravilha, a gente estava então falando aí, né, sobre a questão do elenco profissional que vai jogar com o Orlando City no dia 27 de janeiro. Vocês estão conferindo aí a arte na tela. E o Spencer perguntou, né, se tem alguém que veio da base, né?
Que vai jogar. Ele falou que tem alguns que já assinaram um contrato profissional, e que ele espera que eles vão participar do jogo, porque é muito importante ter esse reconhecimento internacional, né?
Is any of them from the...
No,
right?
No, but soon it will be one of them.
Yeah. And Michael, what about you? We were talking before we started the live broadcast. We were talking about what you know about Flamengo, right? You know a few players. You even mentioned other clubs in Brazil.
Yeah, so we're fortunate that our technical director is Edu Gaspar, who's got a strong affiliation with Brazil. So I guess it's important to know your boss and a little bit more about Brazil. But in terms of Flamengo, it's my first time coming out here to see the club, and it's an amazing club. I guess I was fortunate maybe 20 years ago. I know some of the clubs through where I was trying to chase a career as a young player and ended up in Sao Paulo in Santos. And I don't know how someone from London has ended up here in Brazil, but that's how I got to understand a little bit more about the culture of Brazil and just what a magnificent country it is.
I'm sorry, you played in São Paulo?
No, I attempted to chase a dream, so I ended up in Portuguese Santista in Santos.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's how I love Brazil. I spent a bit of time here, and it was an amazing experience.
So do you know a few words in Portuguese?
A few, muito bem, bom dia, obrigado, muito prazer.
Passa a bola.
Toca a bola.
Toca a bola.
Back trás, pass back. A few, I can maybe get by. Yeah.
Muito bom. Então, curiosamente, né, eu perguntei pra ele se ele já conhecia alguma coisa do Flamengo e ele falou que jogou, foi parar. Enquanto ele estava ali perseguindo os sonhos, ele acabou indo parar no... Qual era?
Portuguesa Santista.
Portuguesa Santista. E então ele ficou um tempo ali em São Paulo. Ele até falou, não sei como é que eles conseguiram botar um cara de Londres ali, acharam um cara de Londres para jogar lá. E aí eu aproveitei para perguntar se ele conhece algumas palavras em português. E aí ele falou, aí vocês escutaram, mas... I think you did good with the Portuguese.
Eu falo pouco.
So maybe we should switch to Portuguese, right?
Oh, I won't be able to participate.
Yeah. So amazing. And talking about the competition, you guys had a day off today, right?
Correct, yeah.
And that was important to rest and also
amazing.
to... What did you do in your day?
One, rest, but also really try and get around Brazil. So we were fortunate yesterday, I believe it was, went to the Maracanã, which was amazing. And today we spent the day at Christ the Redeemer. So for us, of course, football is important, but equally what's important to us as well is that the boys experience Brazil, because some may never come back here again.
Cultural exchange is very
amazing.
Important,
So important. So as much as we can do that, we gave them cue cards, history to read and understand, take pictures, and we ask some questions, and we'll do a quiz later today. So for us, it's really important, and it aligns to what we believe.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, that's very cool. You guys are gonna quiz him on things about Rio and Brazil, because it's cool to go to different countries, but a lot of people, I think, go to different countries, especially when you're in a sports tournament.
Yeah,
you try and play, you go out and see a little bit, you don't really learn anything about the place, actually, about the culture. So that's a very cool idea.
It's really important.
And how did they go?
The boys loved it. They loved it, just getting on the train, they were all on their phones, and you forget, you just mentioned, Spencer, you play football and you go back to the hotel. Well, actually,
exactly.
If you play football, you go for a walk, you go and see the cultural side of things. It's only going to enrich you, so it's really important.
Então, a gente estava comentando, o Arsenal não jogou hoje, teve folga, né? Porque a cada rodada 2 times folgam. E eu perguntei como é que foi esse dia de folga, se deu para descansar. Ele falou que mais ou menos, porque acabou que eles fizeram um passeio, né? Foi do Cristo.
Eles foram no Maracanã ontem, Cristo hoje, falaram que rodaram um pouco a cidade. E o que eu achei muito interessante foi que eles, além de rodar a cidade, eles deram informações para os jogadores e vão fazer como se fosse um teste com eles depois para ver o que eles aprenderam de verdade, né? Que é legal porque muita gente vem pro Brasil para jogar ou para outros países para jogar e joga e ponto, né? Eles estão querendo que os jogadores aprendam um pouco o lado cultural.
Muitas vezes eles nem saem do hotel, né?
Exatamente.
Joga,
então,
descansa e acabou. E eles querem justamente trazer essa parte cultural, né?
Que é bem legal.
E tem a ver pelo que ele falou, né? Tem a ver com essa filosofia que a gente já até mencionou aqui, de preparar os jogadores para a vida, não só ali dentro do campo. And you guys played today. Your day off was yesterday.
Yes, sir.
And it was very important because you guys lost the 2 games, and then today you proved that you're very much alive in the tournament, right?
Oh, absolutely. The first 2 games, it was a little bit of adjustment period for us, especially with the long travel that we had to get here. Yesterday we got to see the city around. We actually got to release some of the stress level that you may experience as a player, as a coaching staff. But today we were back. You know, we had a very good game. I would say quite organized. Players stepped up to the level that we feel that they can perform. And now, like you mentioned, we're back in the equation, right? We by winning tomorrow, we can get an opportunity to move on, and that's going to be the challenge that these guys have to be able to deal with.
É. Então eu estava falando sobre a questão, eles folgaram, o Orlando City folgou ontem e jogou hoje, precisava vencer para não ser eliminado, já que o Orlando veio de 2 derrotas, e eles provaram hoje que estão mais vivos do que nunca na competição, e ele falou, né, sobre a importância do descanso, já que a viagem foi muito longa. Ele até estava falando em off que teve escala, foi uma viagem muito, muito longa, e deu para zerar, né, e hoje voltar e vencer aí essa partida contra o Cerro Porteño, né? Então, muito, muito legal. Inclusive, temos os gols desse jogo. Vamos conferir aí na tela. So, we're showing the goals of today. If you want to talk a little bit of the...
It was like 2 minutes in, and Justin Ellis, at the end, he ended up getting player of the match.
Yeah.
I think he had a great finish.
It was 20 seconds when he...
20 seconds?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was
we were
early.
still sitting down. We weren't
start.
even ready.
Yes. No better start than that, right?
Yeah.
So it was actually the first play. Yes. And the first goal that we scored as well in the tournament, which was phenomenal, right? And then we follow it up with this action where it was an own goal, you know, and puts us two up. Which once again, it builds your confidence. It builds the momentum. And then Pedro Cruz in this one was able to finish up the game or close out the game with a counter attack and a very good finish. That put us 3-0, and after that was once again being organized and making sure that they didn't score goals on us.
Yeah. And how important was it to score a goal in the beginning of the game, 20 seconds in, so you could boost up that confidence and win the game?
I would say what will happen to us in the first game and the second is actually when we play Flamengo and Michelin, they score on us quite early, and we were always sort of climbing up, right? So what we told the players is that, listen guys, in this game we need to be the ones setting up and the tempo, you know, making sure that we're the protagonists of the game. And like you saw, I mean, the players understood the idea. 20 minutes in, quite aggressive, you get a goal, and after that it's a lot easier to play, right? So happy for that.
Yeah. Então a gente está, como vocês conferiram aí, assistindo os gols de hoje, né? Foi 3-0 o jogo do Orlando City com o Cerro Porteño, e a gente estava comentando, né, sobre principalmente o gol do Justin Ellis, né? O camisa 9 do Orlando, que fez o gol com 20 segundos de jogo, né? Uma coisa muito importante até para subir a confiança, já que eles vinham, né, de 2 derrotas e precisavam vencer esse jogo. Então ajudou muito aí a dar esse boost na confiança e ganhar o jogo, né? Foi muito importante, já, como ele falou, né? Eles já estavam tentando ali ganhar um protagonismo nos outros jogos, mas não tinham conseguido, e nesse foi 100%. Deu super certo, né, Spencer?
3-0.
3-0.
Speaking about just your guys' regular season now, what does that look like in terms of games and how far you guys travel to play, and how does that level compare to what you guys have seen here?
Well, our season's linked up with the under-18 season, so we'll play the same team that the under-18s plays. For example, if we play Leicester City, it will be the 18s and 16s will play at the same time. We'll travel to Leicester, but we don't tend to go no more than probably 2, maybe 3 hours by coach.
Okay.
If it's any more than that, we tend to do a stopover in terms of stay at the hotel for the night before and then we play. But we'll look to get through quite a few games throughout the season, incorporating cups, because we don't play, the 16s don't play in the league.
Oh, okay.
The 18s play in the league. So we basically
so
mirror it that way.
You guys will play the same team, but it won't have
it won't be unless it's a cup game, and that's how we'll do it there.
Yeah, for us, I mean, we're based on the size of the country, we're quite used to traveling, especially when we need to play MLS teams who are outside the Florida, right? So we're quite used to that. Right now, we're in the middle of our season because we go from August to June, and as a matter of fact, before we came to this tournament, we went to an event in Phoenix, Arizona, where we had to play 3 games in 4 days, and then get on a plane to come here. And
6-hour flight, right?
It was long. It was long, but I would say in terms of physical demand, yes, it is quite demanding, mental component as well. but in terms of the experience and how much we can gain from being in this tournament. This is the first time that we're traveling internationally as an academy, so it's a huge step for us. And if I will have to do it again, I will definitely do it again, because I think there's a lot more pros than cons.
Yeah. And what do you guys think of in terms of level of play that you guys see here? Because you get several different countries that are all participating here. When you guys play in the U.S., there's different styles of play, but it's all very similar.
Yeah. I would say, I mean, the level in the U.S. is quite good. You know, it's quite good. It's getting better every single year. Being here, you're exposed to different styles, different mindsets, you know, different cultures as well. And I think that's very important. You know, it's very important. And once again, we're trying to find our way. I think the players finally settle in, and they understand that, okay, you know what, I can come here and I can actually play my game. And that's one psychological barrier that we wanted to break, and I think we have done that.
For me, you know, you touched on the styles are outstanding. I think when you hear of Brazil, when you come to Brazil, you know, you think everybody's going to be, you know, doing step over. It's going to be really skillful, and amongst that, because there's loads of, you know, skill and individual brilliance, but the players have found out that, you know, you're playing up against young Brazilian players, you work exceptionally hard. And I think sometimes that's overlooked, just how hard they work, how determined they are. And for our players, it's been a massive shock for them, which has been great, because they've seen that and they think they work hard, but they're seeing someone else who's working just as hard, if not more. So it's nice to pull it into a balance of, really skillful, but also exceptionally hard-working players.
I agree with that. For us, it has been sort of a similar experience. And at the same time, it helps the player understand that, okay, in order for me to make it to the next level, I'm doing some things very well, but there's other areas of opportunities, right? And when you see a kid your age doing them, then that's a challenge for you to step up. So I think I definitely agree. Especially the intensity here is very good. Yeah, so the mentality, you know, every duel counts, and I think that's the way it should be. You know, and our players are seeing that. And now there's not only the coaches telling them, hey, listen, it's very important, the details, right? They're seeing
they get to see it.
They're seeing it, and there's no better teacher in the game, right? So it's fantastic.
Especially when it's hot out there as well. There's no teacher.
You know, you gotta find a way.
Find a way, pass the ball, and you know, keep hold of the ball.
And sometimes football is that, right? You just need to find a way. Find a way and make it work. And I think players are doing that.
O Spencer estava perguntando para eles, né, sobre a questão, as diferenças, principais diferenças que eles sentiram, né, entre esse campeonato e os campeonatos das ligas deles, né?
Eu perguntei como é que né, os campeonatos lá, como é que eles são. Javier estava falando que eles acabaram de jogar 3 jogos antes de vir para cá, estavam jogando em Phoenix, nos Estados Unidos, que é 6 horas de voo. Chegaram em Orlando, vieram para cá, mais 15 horas de voo que demorou para chegar aqui. Então eles estavam deixando claro que, apesar de ter um campeonato forte, eles acham muito importante vir aqui para o Brasil para poder mostrar para os atletas que tem pessoas que no Brasil estão trabalhando muito duro também, e fora do país deles, e, tipo, mostrar para os atletas que existem jogadores que estão trabalhando tanto quanto, ou se não mais do que eles, ainda mais jogando esse calor que eles mencionaram que tá sendo um fator bem
diferenciado
importante,
esse calor, né? E foi interessante até que o Michael estava falando que o 16 joga com o 18, né?
Eles
assim
jogam juntos,
aqui, né?
Só que o 16 não joga uma liga. O 16 joga contra as equipes, o 18 joga na liga do país, né? E o 16 joga contra as equipes, mas não conta como um campeonato, só pro jogo.
Treinar, né? Treino pelo treino. Mas muito legal eles reconhecerem, né, o esforço. Eles falaram que é muito interessante ver que existem, como você falou, né? Tem gente que se esforça, os jogadores, né, também se esforçam. Eles ficaram impressionados com o nível de esforço aqui do Flamengo, né?
A mentalidade dos jogadores.
Na hora de jogar e como é importante mostrar esse exemplo para os jogadores deles também, né? Ter essa... Porque você falar que existe isso é uma coisa e você vê na prática é outra coisa completamente diferente. In the US, you have a lot of the college soccer? Football for Michael, soccer for you. But you guys have this, it's very strong, right? The tradition of the university soccer.
Yes.
And which later on can result in the MSL, but...
Yes, I think it's an advantage that we have, because as we know, not many players will actually go pro, and this platform provides them the ability to continue their educational career. while they play soccer. And some of them actually tend to come back to the league, to MLS, and they turn pro, right? I think what's happening right now, there's a movement where our reserve league is getting stronger, MLS Next Pro, and is getting better. So a lot of kids are having to make that decision between, do I go to the MLS Next Pro team
or do I go
within my club,
to
or
college?
do I go to college, right? And I think it's a decision that is up to each player to make. You know, we definitely want them to be under our umbrella because we have more impact on them, you know, and we can continue the trajectory, I would say, of development. But again, it's a process that we're facing, but at the same time, I think it's a good opportunity because not many countries have that platform.
Eu estava perguntando, né, sobre essa questão, porque nos Estados Unidos você tem muita cultura do futebol de universidade, né? O esporte em geral, né? Tem, até os estudantes ganham bolsa também, quem faz, por exemplo, natação, futebol, basquete. E o quanto isso impacta, né, na liga deles, porque muita gente agora provavelmente está escolhendo entre um e o outro, e ele disse que até acha que melhorou o nível aí do pessoal que está chegando na liga por conta disso, por causa dessa cultura, agora eles têm essa opção, né, de ir para a liga profissional ou para a universidade, que isso é uma coisa muito positiva, né, na verdade. Então, so it's very good that it's getting better, right? You have more players that are more prepared.
Absolutely, and we also get a lot of players from England, you know, who go back to the U.S. to play college. But like I said, I think the reserve league that we're putting together as a league players are going to start seeing the benefit, you know, because I think we do a very good job up until 17 years old, but then there's a big gap between us and the rest of the world. You know, and if you see the World Cups, U17s, U15s, the U.S. is competing, right? But can we continue to compete at a higher level, right? And I think the answer is yes, but we need to be able to create platforms like we are doing right now in order to enable our players to continue to compete at the highest level after they're 17 years old.
Importância aí de manter a competitividade, né? Aí nos jogos, nos campeonatos e nas ligas. And in England, we don't see that as much, right? You're actually the players, they kind of already want to go to the league, right?
Yeah, so I guess England, it can be very difficult, you know, especially up being somewhere at Arsenal. You want all the players to have the best opportunity, but you know it becomes limited because I guess the Premier League, there's such a big influx of players wanting to come and play in the Premier League, so that can affect some of the younger players. So our job, I guess, in the academy is to keep producing the best players and try and get them in the first team. And if they don't get into the first team, I guess it's trying to get them in the leagues. But I mean, there's great work done in our departments. Like if you're an under 21 player, for example, you'll get exposed to loan moves. So you may go and play in the lower leagues. For example, you'll play maybe League One or League Two, or the conference level, just to try and build that experience quicker. So at least when you are being exposed to a first team environment, you've had that experience behind you. And if you struggle on that, then it's an aftercare, and that's what the club do really well. They'll support you, whether it's going to America or whether it's trying to find you another club.
Eu estava falando com ele, né, que na Inglaterra a coisa é um pouco diferente, né? Eles querem, claro, proporcionar oportunidades para todo mundo, mas muitas vezes eles acham difícil já pensar, né, a Premier League talvez seja uma coisa muito distante, mas eles oferecem todo o suporte, né? Eles até falaram que
para ter ajuda nas ligas abaixo, e se for o caso de não conseguirem nas ligas abaixo, ajudar esse processo até de ir para os Estados Unidos jogar um universitário lá ou algo assim, que eles fazem muito bem esse processo de ajudar o atleta pós, se for o caso de não conseguir um time de Premier League ou as ligas abaixo.
Isso é muito legal, né? Porque realmente a concorrência é complicada, né? Mas é legal saber também que existe esse suporte aí para quem não consegue chegar especificamente na Premier League ou nas ligas abaixo. And now talking about the players that are here in Flamengo Adidas Cup, we have to talk about Tito. Right?
Yeah.
Tito was here on the last Flamengo Adidas Cup, and he's back, and it's your number 9.
Correct.
And he's a very good player, very promising player, right?
Yeah. Tito's got a lot of ability, promising potential. As you mentioned, he was here last year, so he's still a year young, I guess, but a lot of the players we bought are quite young. They're 2009s, 2008s, and Chido was experienced that last year as a younger player, but he's a player with frightening ability to score goals. He's strong, he's quick, and we're just trying to work with him as best we can technically to try and get him at a level where he can go on and have a great career in the game.
Eu tô falando com ele sobre o Tido, né, que foi destaque aí do jogo, inclusive contra o Flamengo, né, que acabou vencendo. A gente vai rodar agora as imagens aí desse jogo. A gente é FlaTV, mas a gente tá aqui enaltecendo aí o pessoal do Arsenal, porque, enfim, a gente tá aqui com eles como convidados, né. E ele tava falando, né, sobre o Tido, que é uma grande promessa realmente. Ele já tava aqui na Flamengo Adidas Cup do ano passado, foi muito bem também, e que ele, como ele falou, né, ele tem um talento assustador para gols, né, foi o termo que ele usou, um faro de gol muito bom.
E ele estava aqui ano passado, né?
Ele estava aqui no ano passado, então poder aproveitar aí ao máximo o Tido. And he's very tall, right? How tall is he?
He's about 6'3" at the moment.
How much is that in meters?
90 e pouco.
Probably 187,
no,
maybe.
It's more than that.
Yeah.
It's like 190, 190.
He's tall.
Yeah, he's very tall. Eu tô comentando aqui sobre a questão da altura, né, que foi uma coisa que impactou.
Yeah,
very tall. Impactou muito a gente, né, porque são meninos de 15, 16 anos e ele tem aqui 1,90 m, né, mais ou menos que ele falou, então é muito
o tamanho,
alto.
diferença de tamanho aí.
Tem um no São Paulo também que tem 1,89, temos o Thierry, que inclusive fez gol hoje.
Sorry, I told him off. He needs to score more goals. He's missed a couple chances.
Yeah.
We expect a few more goals from him.
But Michael, you mentioned that you guys bring a big amount of age groups, 08, 09. Yeah. You think that impacts in the game at all? And how about you, Javier? Do you guys bring younger kids too, or you guys focus just on that age group of the U16s?
No, in the U.S., we actually call it U17, right? But you guys call it U16 because our season goes once again from August to June.
Right.
So we have in this group a majority of 2008 players and a mix of 2007s as well. So some of the guys who are playing this season or this tournament, their potential will come back next year to compete again, right? So we have a mix. Do you find it challenging? At times, yes. Because physically, you see the difference.
At that age, 1 year makes a big difference. Yeah,
absolutely. Mentally as well in terms of maturity, But at the same time, we see it as an opportunity as well because we're exposing younger players to play against older players at a very high level. So at the end, we're gonna see the benefits.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, spot on. For us, our school year goes September all the way to August. And I believe here it's January to December. Yeah. So already we're probably a little bit behind on the age, but we try to select the best players who are in the best position to come and play. But predominantly is our under 16s, with quite a few under 15s, and we have one under 14 who's just got injured on the way out here. So he's 13 years old, but he's a real special talent for us as well. So it's disappointing he's not been able to play, but hopefully next year he'll play in it.
Yeah, hopefully that'd be nice
to be able to nurture that young talent, and expose him to this.
Yeah,
his growth process just speeds up, I would say, right?
Yeah.
O Spencer estava perguntando para ele sobre essa questão da geração, né? Geração 2008, 2009.
Então, o Michael comentou que eles trazem um grande número de gerações. Eu queria saber se o Javier também era assim, se eles trazem só sub-16 ou se eles trazem sub-15, sub-14 também. O Michael comentou até sobre um jogador sub-13, o sub-14, que tem 13 anos, que eles iam trazer esse machucou, que ele falou que é muito, muito bom. E que como eles acham importante trazer esses jogadores para cá mais novos para poder já ter esse reconhecimento internacional, para jogar contra jogadores mais velhos e ter ajudar na mentalidade deles de jogo mesmo, né? Porque às vezes são muito imaturos, crianças ainda, e vêm para cá jogar contra meninos mais velhos que já têm a mentalidade de minha vida é isso, tem que ganhar. Então, eles acham bem bom trazer jogadores mais novos também.
We actually have that happening here as well. We are playing with the under 16 and under 15, and we have a few players. We have a few players that are actually under 14, like João Vitor. He actually played today in the under 15, and so we have that mentality as well to prepare them, and because you can grow a lot by doing this, right?
Absolutely.
especially in a tournament like this, you're going to grow so much. It's such a challenging tournament, and it can only benefit, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I think a lot of people from the outside, they'll look at the results and think, oh, you lost every game or you won one game, but I think they don't understand that this is the way I see it. It's less about winning, it's more about growing the players and the team.
I think we all come here to try to do our best to win the games, right? But if you really scope, you kind of take a step back, you realize that what you're really looking for is for the experience for the players to continue their growth, right? And if you can do that while you win, even better, right?
Yeah.
but the reality is exposing these players to these challenges and opportunities, because like I said, our main job is to push players into the first team.
É muito interessante isso. Eu até comentei, né, que a gente tem alguns casos como esse, que o Spencer comentou com eles, como o João Vitor, né, que é sub-14 e estava hoje jogando no Flamengo, no sub-15, e que a gente também botou o sub-15 muito para isso também, para amadurecer e já começar a treinar os jogadores para esses jogos mais desafiadores, né, internacionais. E eles falaram que também sentem isso, né? Eles também acreditam muito nessa questão da...
Eles falaram, ganhar é importante, mas se você conseguir ver de fora mesmo, o mais importante é tu conseguir levar o jogador para chegar no time profissional, chegar onde eles querem estar no futuro, né? E que o resultado hoje não vai importar nisso. O que importa é a dedicação deles para que os jogadores possam chegar lá.
O Javier até brincou, né? Se a gente puder fazer isso ganhando, melhor.
Ótimo, né?
Mas não necessariamente. O importante é justamente promover esse amadurecimento, né? E que o objetivo é, bem ou mal, destacar jogadores para subir aí, né? Pro time profissional. So, talking about the games that you're having tomorrow, what are your expectations? Starting with Michael.
Again, we want to go and win every game that we play in. So that's what we're going to aim to do. Now we know up against a good side. I believe it's Laguna. I think we're playing tomorrow.
Yeah,
Santos Laguna. Yeah.
Santos Laguna. Yeah.
So we'll play them. They're going to be a good side. It's a tight group still. So if we can get a win by good results, and hopefully Flamengo can do us a favor, we'll be in a position to hopefully qualify, and that's what we're going to try and do.
Eu perguntei então aí sobre os jogos de amanhã. O Arsenal, como eu falei, estava de folga hoje, amanhã enfrenta o Santos Laguna. Falou que vai ser um jogo disputado, né? E que eles estão buscando aí esse lugar na classificação, né? Porque amanhã define tudo, né?
Também, né?
Falou da ajuda, se o Flamengo puder ajudar também aí eles para poder garantir essa vaguinha aí na semifinal, né? Porque amanhã realmente é o último jogo da fase classificatória. And you guys,
for us, we play Colo-Colo. I think it's going to be a great match where both teams are going to come out to compete, to play well. We both need the result.
Yeah,
so
that makes it Flamengo's in first with 6, and you guys are 3, and everyone else is 4 or 5. So whoever wins, has a good chance of qualifying.
So once again, if you tell me we're going to travel all the way here to play a game like tomorrow, I'll take it any day, because it's going to be a growing opportunity for the players, right? And they're both clubs are going to try to do their best, and we'll see how it goes.
Eu perguntei para ele do jogo de amanhã, né? O Orlando City enfrenta o Colo-Colo. E ele falou, né, se tivessem organizado toda essa viagem só para o jogo de amanhã, já valeria a pena, porque vai ser um jogo muito bom, né, porque os dois estão brigando aí pela vaga, né?
O primeiro colocado e o último colocado podem se classificar e podem não se classificar, tá? O Flamengo está em primeiro com 6 pontos, e o último colocado é o Orlando com 3, mas... ganhando tudo pode acontecer. Então, assim, é uma experiência que ele falou que acho que vai ser muito boa para os jogadores.
Com certeza, porque é aquele jogo que a gente quer ver que todo mundo entra na raça para garantir aquele lugarzinho, né? E a FlaTV vai transmitir tudo. Lembrando que a gente está transmitindo todos os jogos, não só os jogos do Flamengo. Então, quem quiser conferir aí esses 2 jogos, é só ligar lá na FlaTV que tá bombando a FlaTV, transmitindo muitos jogos ao mesmo tempo, simultâneos, então vale muito a pena. Do you guys have any questions for us? Or
how have you found the tournament so far? How have you found everything?
Well, I think it's been good.
Yeah, it's been
right?
really good. Yeah. This is a big thing for us. I mean, in Brazil, there aren't any other international tournaments like this, so the fact that we can be the club to host it, it's really big internally, institutionally for us. And having clubs with your guys' levels and levels of the other teams that have been here it's massive for the club itself.
For me, it would just be to thank you guys for having us here, for inviting us to this tournament. The level of professionalism has been quite impressive. you know. And once again, I mean, we have Andre, our I will say our designated tour guy, and he's done a phenomenal job, extremely welcoming. So throughout, every time I have an interaction with whether it's Arsenal or any other club who's participating here, and especially Flamengo staff, it's been quite impressive, you know. And I think that's really what it comes down to, you know, is that you guys are showing us what you guys do and who you are as a club, and I would say it's been fantastic for us.
Oh, thank you so much. Eu perguntei para eles, né? A gente perguntou se eles têm alguma dúvida pra gente. E aí o Michael perguntou o que a gente estava achando do campeonato, né? E aí o Spencer até falou que pra gente é muito legal, né?
Institucionalmente falando, pro Flamengo é muito importante ter esse campeonato, que se não me engano é o único do Brasil internacional, o único clube que propõe isso, né? Então é muito bom ter clubes do nível deles e dos outros que estão aqui participando, vindo para o Brasil jogar no nosso campeonato, né?
Exatamente, está sendo realmente muito legal essa troca. E o Javier basicamente agradeceu, falou que gostou muito da recepção, né, nossa, com o time deles e todo mundo, elogiou muito a estrutura do Flamengo, né, também. Então, ele só elogios, agradeceu aqui a gente, é claro que eu agradeci o elogio também. Mas é isso, vou então me despedir aqui dos nossos convidados, já que já estamos chegando aí à margem dos 45 minutos e honrando aí o tempo de uma partida de futebol, a gente vai encerrando por aqui. So guys, thank you so much for being here and talking with us about your experience and what are you guys thinking about the tournament. It's been amazing talking to you guys.
Thank you so much for having us. It's been
Absolutely.
amazing.
Yeah, we
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you so
outstanding.
much.
Thank you.
Então é isso, e obrigada também pro Spencer, né, que tá aqui comigo, me ajudando aí nesse bate-papo em inglês. Foi muito legal poder ter essa troca
Só
aí
concordei
com
com
você.
você.
Mentira, foi ótimo, muito bom. Agregou muito. Então é isso, nação, eu vou ficando por aqui. E amanhã tem mais jogo, hein? Lembrando, como eu falei, a gente transmite todos os jogos que estão rolando aqui na Flamengo Adidas Cup a partir de 8h45 da manhã.
À noite tem o basquete também, exclusivo,
Boa.
Champions League exclusivo contra o Boca, só na FlaTV, então 9 e 10 da noite vocês podem ligar aí pra ver também o nosso Fla Basquete aí na Champions League.
Isso aí. A partir de 8h50 da noite começa o nosso pré-jogo só aqui na FlaTV. O jogo Flamengo e Boca Juniors, jogão, hein? A gente espera vocês de manhã no futebol e de noite no basquete. Bom demais. Vou ficando por aqui e até a próxima. FlaTV é mais Flamengo pra você.
Alô nação, estreamos com uma vitória emocionante e amanhã tem mais Champions League Américas ao vivo na FlaTV. Flamengo e Boca Juniors. Às 8h50 da noite começa a nossa live com muitas informações sobre o orgulho da nação.
Guideodato, bola picada por baixo com Jaú, 2 pontos do Flamengo.
É a FlaTV junto com o Fla Basquete, então venha torcer com a gente.
FlaTV, mais Flamengo pra você.
Nação, o FlaApp é o aplicativo oficial do Flamengo feito para você. Nele, você participa de interações, acompanha as notícias sobre o dia a dia do clube, calendário de jogos, venda de ingressos, estatísticas e tempo real das partidas do futebol masculino profissional. Além disso, no FlaApp, você conhece todos os planos de sócio-torcedor e pode escolher o melhor para você. Já é sócio-torcedor? Só aqui você consegue ativar benefícios exclusivos, disponíveis a qualquer momento e em qualquer lugar, e tirar suas dúvidas sobre o programa. Baixe agora mesmo o FlaApp e tenha tudo sobre o Flamengo na palma da sua mão. FlaApp, o aplicativo do Mengão para a maior torcida do mundo. O FlaAnjo é um programa de incentivo fiscal que investe em todas as modalidades do Flamengo. Você apoia o futuro do Mengão sem gastar nada. E você ainda pode ganhar diversos benefícios exclusivos. Os nossos campeões de amanhã estão sendo formados hoje.
Seja um FlaAnjo, quem ama, incentiva.